when we were reforming the Tibet space, we used to have so many failures. You know, a mason fails the exam not because they don't have the masonry skill. It is because they failed English. So we asked ourselves, why are you forcing this mason to pass English when his skill is masonry, you know? So we scaled down the place of English, and we got many more masons passing because they knew how to do, they had the skill of masonry, but they were failing on English, you know? So that is how we managed to reform that space. Let me give you another example. And these are practical examples which we have had to delve into. What Ogamba has said, the 3 different pathways. We have many learners who are gifted differently. There are people who are not gifted on STEM subjects. They are good artists. They are good social scientists. But when you force them into a channel that emphasizes the things they are not good at, that is why, for a very long time, our education system produced too many failures. You know? Because we were failing our learners on areas that they were not good at, so that even the areas they were good at were undermined by the areas they were not good at. That's why having 3 pathways gives all our children equal opportunity to pass on the areas they are good at. And by the way, we need all of them. We need skills in STEM. We need skills in social science. We need skills in art. They complement society. They make us the society that we are. And that is why competence-based learning is the correct thing to go, the correct education system for us. Let me conclude by saying that, and it's good for us to speak, a bit of experience, because we've been in this space for a while, really helps. And I'm sure the teachers who are here will know that. There was a very big focus on passing a single exam. A single exam determined whether you were a failure or you passed. And that is why exams became a life and death issue. That is why exams were so militarized. There were policemen everywhere, intimidating children, making the whole place, tense, and even affecting the outcome of learning itself. That's why competence learning builds on the learning experience and the learning curve of the student. Every stage accounts for the final exam, so that the final exam becomes important, but what you have gone through is equally important. So that is why I am a very strong advocate for competence-based learning. Why are we here? We are here because education is the single most important investment any society or nation can roll out. It's the single most important investment. The development of our human capital is the single most important to a nation. From the position I sit in as president, if there is one very important thing, is to have an educated, informed society. Number 2, we are investing close to 700 billion, 28% of our budget. If education was not important, we wouldn't be investing that amount of money. And number three, we have close to, how many million learners, Waziri? 11 million learners, our children, in this space. And therefore, the coming together of these stakeholders, sponsors of schools, managers of schools, education leaders, government, to bring together our ideas, as I said, to refine what is working, to change what is not working, to improve, and to uptake new ideas is a very central part of the development of education. We've had instances where people take to podia in political rallies, in church meetings, in funerals, in weddings, to say all manner of things about education. This forum here gives us an opportunity not to talk at each other, but to talk together, to talk to each other and find solutions on how we go forward together. So that is why I think this forum is very important and significant.
There's a feeling that sometimes government is speaking to itself, because the reality sometimes in the ground, let's talk about transition of grade 10 learners. You just talk about 99 point something %. But when you look at it, until yesterday, we can still see some learners who are still stuck at home. So do we have mechanisms where the government is actually getting the real data, say from the village elder to the sub-county director, and everybody else, so that we cannot be sitting and maybe just talking to ourselves in this room?
Precisely the point. That's why we have this meeting. We want to know from the stakeholders here. If, for example, we say we have hired 100,000 teachers, can OU here and the good people from Competence, can they confirm that that is the case? When we say that we have built learning spaces, is that the case? When we say that we have changed the university funding model, is that the case? Do we need Professor Mugendi and team? Can they confirm to us that that is the case, or are we talking to ourselves? That's the reason why we're here. And I think that is a very progressive way of engaging rather than finger pointing and making statements sometimes that are not verifiable.